What's up everyone, Train Freak here, and today we got a layout update video because it's been a couple of weeks since I have done a layout update. That's right, we did the creating a switching puzzle a couple of weeks ago, and since then I've got a lot of it wired up. I also added a really cool thing, and some of you have already seen it because I have demonstrated it on other channels. But I've also done some scenery if you've been paying attention to my community tab page. So heck yeah, we got quite a bit done in the last couple of weeks. So before we get into me showing you what all I've done and the purposes of doing everything, got a couple announcements. First one being Sidetrack Sunday tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern on Schuylkill River Valley. That is John's channel. I have no clue what he's got planned for tonight. And I'm hoping that he's still able to do it because I know he's had some computer issues. And that's why the Foltz-Bailey Model Railroad had to fill in for him last month. So hopefully John will be back tonight. If not, I will let you know something in my community page. So keep an eye on that as well. Another announcement is, hey, we're already at 920 subscribers. I'm really trying to get that push to 1,000 before the end of the year. And to do that, I'm going to go ahead and announce that I've got some really nice prizes in HO and N scale. And it's going to be giving away a couple of locomotives. Now, they're only DC, but for those who want DCC and sound, you can easily upgrade these locomotives to that. So, and I want to say that I did share those locomotives at the very end of the last bingo for the 900 subscriber contest. And I will put a link up in the corner so that way if you want to go see what those locomotives look like for both N and HO, you can do that. So, but yeah, that's all I've got as far as announcements go. Let's go ahead and get in onto this update. You know, let's see what all I've done. So be right back. Alright, so we're going to start on the messy end of the bench work, and that's because, like I have mentioned, I have been busy. And I'm not finished because I still got to come and drill all the holes for all the turnouts. But it is all wired up. We got track feeders in place here. Of course, you saw the train on the left earlier, and we got a local here on the right, and that was a train that I uploaded yesterday on as a YouTube short. But yeah, let's go over there and look. So as far as the tracks that are currently wired up, not all of it is, but some of it is. The two main lines where our trains are, they're wired up. These are what I'm calling the two runaround tracks, okay? Because the locomotives have to run around the cars that are on this track to be able to, you know, pick up and drop off certain, for certain industries. Now, this track here goes all the way past the crossover, all the way to the very backdrop way over there, and that track is wired up as well. Now, the two tracks that's currently got cars sitting on it are not wired up, and that's because I don't know exactly how long those tracks need to be. I've got a couple of industries, they have came in, I just haven't unboxed them yet, that I plan on kit bashing and to make Juicy J's Meat Company. Now, the way Juicy J's is going to work is it's going to receive these cars here, these Wilson car lines. Those are meat reefers. So Juicy J's will receive those from wherever the slaughterhouse is, and it's going to process it and turn it into canned meat. Kind of like, you know, Spam, but you know, back in the late 50s, they actually canned a lot of meat. So it'll have box cars going out, and it's most likely going to be cotton belt box cars that will be going on the outbound trains. So that's for the two tracks that's currently got cars sitting on it. So like I said, I've got a building in mind. I've got it in. I just got to get it out, get it open, and I will do an unboxing on it later, hopefully later this week, and try to do a kit bash on it, and I think that's going to be a pretty fun one. And then the track over here behind the Mio, yeah, my Mio drink, it is not even hooked up, so it's just sitting there just to be sitting there. These backdrop buildings from PTF Designs are just sitting there just to be sitting there for right now. Because one of the things I got to do is I got to get a backdrop in here as well. And then these two tracks are also not wired up. They're just sitting there to be sitting there. They're kind of connected, but not. That's going to be another one that's going to require a specific type of building. And Joey from Late Night Model Railroad gave me a really good idea. I think he's using ITLA kits. So looking at maybe getting one of those and custom building something as well. And then of course we got Passmore Gas. I don't know exactly where it's going to go yet. But you know, the track goes all the way down there. And yes, that was the Shaka Sit. Yeah, I still got to get it fixed. So I'm not focused on it right now, and I got to do some decaling on it too. But this track that tank car is sitting on is currently wired up. Now, as far as doing the switching puzzles and whatnot, it's going to be kind of tough because, see, here's our turnout to lead in, and you can see that the track's just kind of in there. So what I'm going to have to do is try to get some benchwork plywood on that piece of benchwork over there up and going, and at least, for the time being, get the track to either go all the way to the wall or start the curve. So that way, when we get ready to do the switching puzzle, we've got enough room to pull our train up before or past this turnout that allows us to cross over into this industrial complex. And then they'll be able to take their whole train and back it here. So that's kind of the goal, per se, on this side of the layout. So still got a lot of work to do, but we got a little bit wired up, tested it out, and it works. And now I'm able to put some really long trains on the layout here and, you know, kind of run them, even if it's, you know, running forwards and backwards. But, you know, we can now get some really, really good video shots. So give me a second and we'll go over to the other side of the layout and show you what else we have worked on. All right, so if you were paying attention earlier, as that train was going by, you would have noticed that I've got ballast in. I ballasted some. And I've even did some more scenery as well. And that's because I don't like putting my ballast in until the scenery is in first, because the ballast kind of needs to go on it. I did kind of make a mess here, but it's going to be okay, because it's probably going to be, a lot of this is probably going to be filled with ballast, kind of like it is back there. So yeah, but one of the things that I've recently done is I've joined the NMRA, or the National Model Railroad Association, and they have a certificate called the Golden Spike Award. And one of the things that you have to do on the Golden Spike is you got to have 3 types of track, which it could be a turnout, it could be a grade crossing, you know, a crossover, or a diamond, something. You got to have 3 pieces of track, or 3 types of track, and they can all be the same thing, like a yard ladder. But you got to have them ballasted. You've also got to have them wired up, you know, and, you know, you got to be able to run trains over them. So I've got 1, 2, 3 wired up. So that way now I can officially mark that off my to-do list. Based on that award. Now if I go below the layout, you can see I've got a tortoise here with T number 204. T number 205 is right there. And then that one's actually T number 203. And the reason why this one is numbered off is because the next one over there is actually going to be T number 206. So I kind of wanted 5 and 6 together. So I did that on purpose, you know. And then as far as this one, that's probably going to be 207, and there's probably going to be some more over here afterwards. But that's kind of, where I'm at with that. Went ahead and, filled all this in. Now, of course, we'll add some trees to it later. I debated on putting another small little hill here, and then I was like, nah, I'm just going to kind of leave it flat and just pop a tree in there. I do got a tree for that, and I have recently painted, and I got to repaint this one. But I've, painted all those trees over there, and so we're going to get ready to do some flocking and stuff, and yes, even some dead stuff too. So that way we can go ahead and start putting trees in here and get this whole scene as far as trees along the backdrop finished. I've do got a finished tree that I am going to put there. I've got like a one big huge, I would say it's like a post oak, but I'm going to put it right here in the middle, kind of a tree to itself. And I might kind of do the same thing right here in this open area as well. I did find one of my old shanties, and so I'm thinking about maybe putting it right here. But that's an old Vollmer made in Western Germany, so that tells you how old that is. But this is a kit I put together years ago, and it probably needs some paint and some rust, and especially that top needs rust. But, maybe put like a little light or something in there, and I was thinking about just putting it right there, kind of like just a small little shanty, and then have, my truck, where he can, yeah, there you go in that way. Because see, I'm still waiting on my signals to come in. I've got a cantilever that's going to go back in that open hole, and then over here, over here will be a double-headed signal that's going to go, govern that turnout, because both of those tracks are considered the main line, but it's kind of like a Y. So yeah. All right, so this is going to be the last part of the update, because I almost forgot this. I've got an ATEM Mini here that's going to allow me to control 4 cameras. And look up in that corner over there, and there is a PTZ camera. Ooh, sorry. Let's see if I can do this. So now you can see that the camera moves. So we're going to use that for remote operations. And there's my remote that I was using. So that camera is connected with 2 cables here. This is a network cable, HDMI cable. HDMI goes into the ATEM Mini. Network cable goes into this. It's called a PoE juicer. So that would actually go to the data, like a network switch, and then it pushes power through the Cat 5 or Cat 6 cable. And then this has an output here that goes into my computer right down there. So this is going to allow us to do remote operations, which is going to be really, really cool. So I'm really looking forward to doing that. We'll be able to see both Hickory Ridge and Weiner with that camera. I do have a second camera when we get more layout built, and which will be the next 2 towns. So I just wanted to show you that, really cool piece of technology that I just recently acquired. So other than that, that's pretty much the last of the layout update. So I would like to say an extended thank you to all of you that have purchased items off of Teespring, that have done one-time donations or more than one-time donations on my paypal.me, and for all of the channel members through Patreon. And those channel members' names will be at the end of every video from here on out. So extended thank you to all of you that help purchase, or your funds go to help purchasing the prizes, such as these 2 locomotives that will be given away at the next 1,000 subscriber contest, and for items that provide content to this channel. So other than that, I wish y'all a great week. Be safe out there, and happy railroading.